Hey folks, it's Abby and today I'm going to be telling you my February TBR. A lot of this TBR is actually going to be digital rather than physical. Yes, I know I'm trying to read through my physical TBR. No, I won't be accepting judgment at this time. So, let me grab the physical books first and then we'll go through them. This is so awkward. I don't know, it just is. Caitlin, we're video chatting. Caitlin's over there. So, because it's all digital... Shut up! So, because a lot of it is digital, I've written it all down, so that's what's down there. And the reason why I'm reading a lot not from my TBR this month is because I want to take part in the Missy Elliott Read-A-Thon, which is going to be hosted by Shay from Shay with the Hobbies. I will of course link her video down below. So, the prompts for that are to read a book with LGBTQ+ rep, to read a black romance, a coming-of-age novel, a backlist title which is at least 5 years old, a book with multiple point of views, a book either set in high school or written when you were in high school, which for me, for the British secondary school, is from 2008 to 2013, and to read a book that was recommended to you. And of course, because this is a Missy Elliott Read-A-Thon and because it's hosted by Shay, these are all black books written by black authors, black with a big B. The first one that I'm reading, I actually have a physical copy of. Fantastic. And that is Double Cross by Mallory Blackman. This works for the coming of age. This works for a backlist title because it was first published in 2008. It works for multiple points of view, and it also works for published it's either set in a high school or published in high school years. It's both. The kids in here are at school. I'll explain in a bit, but I've read part of this. The kids are at school, and also it was published in 2008, which is the year that I started secondary school, year 7 in the UK. Well, in England. As Caitlin, when she comes back, can attest, it's not the same in Scotland. And this is the 4th book in the Noughts and Crosses series, which is like a switched out world where black people are in power and white people are the minority, and there's a lot of racial injustice, and this follows, in the first book, a black girl and a white boy who fall in love and how that doesn't work. Obviously it goes quite a bit on from there. I don't want to spoil anything so I won't say it, but these books are absolutely fantastic. Yes, they were written a while ago, with the 4th one being written in 2008, but I promise they are still relevant, still amazing. Highly recommend. And I actually have started reading this last year in 2021 and had to DNF it at 90 pages because these books are really tough and really difficult to get through, and I just was not in the right headspace to read that. No. So I had to stop, but it fits for all these prompts. I want to read it. It's technically a reread for me because I read these at the time when they came out when I was in secondary school. I'm going to push through this. Like I said, I'm 90 pages in, so I'll be counting the pages from there on. It totals, what is it? Did I write it down? Yeah, it totals 434 pages, so 324 is what I'll be reading. Ish. Don't make me do maths. 344? Nah. But yes, so book 1. Then for a black book recommendation, I'm going to be reading Binti. I've heard so many people talk about this, so many people, and a lot of them have said that it's something that I'm going to enjoy. I'm really getting into sci-fi short stories and sci-fi novellas, which is what this is. It's like 100 pages, so this should be a really short read, and I am planning to get the audiobook of it and listen to it while I'm at work. So I'm very excited for this. I know nothing about it, so. Then for a black romance, Shay said that this is specifically just a book that has 2 black people in love in a romance. Thank God she said that, because I don't read romance books, so don't have any of those on my TBR. But My Sister the Serial Killer does indeed have people in love who are both black, and as far as I'm aware, this is, obviously the title happens, but the serial killer sister starts dating the main character's ex, and she kills all of her lovers. And so she's like, no, 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 you're not killing him, you're not killing him, and drama ensues. So, very much looking forward to this one, another one that I'm hoping to listen to. And then for a black book with LGBTQIA+ rep, I'm going to be reading Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, another one that I don't really know a lot about, and because I don't have a physical copy, can't really tell you, but I've heard that there is amazing LGBTQIA+ rep in all of Jacqueline Woodson's books, so fingers crossed this one will work for that. Then onto my regular TBR, so starting with the books that I own. First up we have Seasons of War by Derrick Landy. This is the 14th book in the Skullduggery Pleasant series. Don't quote me. This is a reread. I'm reading it along with the Dead Famous read-along like I have been for the entirety of 2021 and for these next few months in 2022. The last book is going to be coming out really soon, and I think it's April. I'm so excited. But yes, this series at the beginning starts off as a middle grade following a 12-year-old girl named Stephanie. She ends up discovering the world of magic and a skeleton detective. It's set in Ireland, it's fantastic. By this point it's very much YA, like it's getting to upper YA now. These are fantastic, I love them so much. Then a book that was lent to me by my mother-in-law, which is why I want to read it, and that is Piranesi by Suzanna. So this is Greek mythology based, I believe, and it's about somebody who is kind of like trapped in a house, always lived in a house, but someone else seems to appear and they try and figure out what's going on, who this other person is, how they got into the house. My mother-in-law loved it. I know that a lot of other people have loved it. I think Danny, is it Danny who read this and said that it was really good? I really want to delve into this one, and it is only like 250 pages, so it should also be a nice quick read, and I'll be able to give it back to my mother-in-law and we can have a chat about it. So actually I'm going to be adding another book that I'm going to be reading this month. I'm going to be reading Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho with Hannah from La.M. We meant to buddy read this in January and then I forgot, and then Hannah reminded me about it in February. Thankfully. So yes, that is another book to add to this very long TBR, but we're going to be reading a chapter of it a day, so that alongside my chapter a day of Count of Monte Cristo should be perfectly manageable. Then for the last book on my physical TBR, and that is Fatlip by Hannah O'Donnell, otherwise known as La.M here on BookTube. This is her non-fiction kind of memoir, but written in a fictionalized style. I'm really excited to read through it. Again, this is another short one at 130, so although I have a lot of books on my TBR, they're not massive, so hopefully that should help me kind of actually get through all of these. I'm really excited to read this. She was lovely enough to send me this as part of my Christmas present. Thank you so much, Hannah. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. And then I have 3 more books on this TBR. Starting with the last one that I want to do digitally via audiobook, and that is The Princess Bride. Can't remember the author. I finally watched the film in like the end of December last year, and so I really want to read this book, and it's one of my 12 in 12 reads. I'm pretty sure that this was recommended by Becca from the Comic Book Sanctum, if I'm remembering rightly, so I really want to get through this one and see if I enjoy it as much as the film, which was stupid but fun. Basically like a really cheesy plot where like a young man ends up going off to like learn how to fight and stuff, and then the romance is broken up and they don't see each other for ages, and then he kind of appears and then she loses him again, and there's lots of plots to like murder people, and there's a prince and a princess and a king, and hopefully it'll be good. And then the last 2 books on my TBR are the 2 books that are going to be coming in the Illumicrate for January. It hasn't arrived yet because the book that we know the name of is This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. That's not released until the very end of January, and I'm filming this a little bit early on like the 22nd. So it hasn't arrived yet, but that is one of the books I want to read. I don't know anything about it. I just want to read my Illumicrate books as they come in. And then this is going to be a 2 books box month. So I also then want to read the other book that comes in. The predictions so far, timestamp here if you don't want to be spoiled for the surprise book in this box. It's supposed to be a book called The Ivory Key. Spoiler free now. And so yeah, if I'm correct, then that is the name of the book that I want to read, but if not, then I'll read whatever it is. Who knows, but I want to try and actually read those kind of as and when I get them, to keep on top of them, because my TBR is big enough as it is. And those are all of the books on my February TBR. Let me know down below if you've read any of them, and if so, which ones were your favourite, or if you get the Illumicrate book box. Are you going to read them as well, or are you going to leave them and have them sit on your shelves for 17 years? Because that is a real risk if I don't read them as soon as I get them. Thank you so much for watching, folks. If you'd like to see some more from me, then please do hit the subscribe button down below, and if you enjoyed watching the video, please do hit like, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!